أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We continue with our two weekly Quran translation classes. So we continue with verse number 17, which is, as you can see here. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أولئك الذين اشتروا الضلالة بالهدى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين. So the translation is, first I'll read out the general translation, but these are they who have taken error in exchange for guidance, but their traffic has brought them no gain, nor are they rightly guided. So when you look at the split word translation, we've already studied ulaika. Ulaika is just to indicate towards something that these are they, and if you want to make it singular, um, actually zalika. Zalika is the singular. For example, the Quran says Alif Lam Mim Zalikal Kitabu. This is the perfect book. So the plural of Zalika is Ulaika, right? Zalika is singular, Ulaika is the plural. So the Quran says Ulaika, these are they, Allazina, who, again, Allazina is the plural. And if you want to do a singular, just to take away the noon, and it will be Allah, Allazi, right? Allazi is one individual, allazina, those people. So ulaika allazina, these are they who ishtarau, they have taken in exchange. So let's quickly look at the word ishtarau, what it means. So ishtarau means they have taken in exchange. This is derived from ishtara. Ishtara means is derived from shara, that's the root word, both having the same meaning, i.e. he purchased a thing or became an owner of a thing by purchase. So the word also sometimes gives the meaning of ba, i.e. he sold a thing. The word ishtara is also used of a person who gives up one thing and lays hold on another. So these are the various meanings that you can take for ishtara. So ishtara, they have taken in exchange. Right? Allah Ta'ala then says what exactly they've exchanged. Ishtara, you can also say they have bought, right? You can give the meaning of buying as well, but this is actually a good translation due to the subject matter. So what have they taken in exchange? Az-zalala, error, or what? Bil huda, with guidance. So when you look at the split word, it says bil, be is with, right? This is actually second. This is actually be al huda. Be is with. So when you connect the two, it becomes bil huda, with guidance. So they've exchanged error for guidance. So when you look at the general translation, you will see these are they who have taken error in exchange for guidance. Ulaika, these are they, allazina, who ishtarau, they have taken in exchange. This is the past tense, so they have taken in exchange. Az-zalala, the error or errors for in exchange for bil huda, with guidance. Fama, fa is so, but it's very similar to wa. Wa is and. Fa, so, or but. Ma has a few meanings. It has the meaning of not, or ma can also mean that, right? But in this context, it means fama means but no. But no, rabihat, it bought gain. What bought gain? Tijaratuhum, their bargain. So tijarat is bargain, tijaratuhum, their bargain. So when you look at here, فَمَا رَبِحَتْ تِجَارَتُهُمْ, but their traffic has brought them no gain, or their bargain has brought them no gain. فَمَا, but not rabihat, bought gain or benefited rabihat tijaratuhum, their bargain or their business. Wama kanu muhtadin, wa and ma not, kanu they were, muhtadin rightly guided. Now muhtadin rightly guided, if you would say Mahdi, a Mahdi is one who guides other people, right? Mahdi is the one who guides people, and what does he guide people towards? Hidayah, towards Hidayah's guidance. You can see here, bil huda. Huda is also guidance. So muhtadin means those people who are rightly guided. So you will have to remember a few words here, which might be a bit difficult to remember. So I'll just highlight them for you. So you have ishtarau, zalalata. This I think everybody should know. Rabihat, tijara. Right. So I think these four are potentially tricky. Ishtarau, they have taken in exchange, or it says that the meaning is also of ba'a. He sold a thing, right? So it has various meanings. He purchased a thing as well, right? So ishtarau, it gives the meaning of buying something, right? But of course, here the meaning that we've used is to take something in exchange. But in essential, or in the basic meaning it has is to purchase something, right? So just remember that. Al-zalala, error, right? Those people who understand Urdu, they will relate zalala with gumrahi, right? With darkness or with an error. So al-zalala, error. And the next two words I think might be a bit tricky, but you might have to remember them. Rabihat, it brought gain, right? Or it benefited. Tijaratuhum, their bargain. Tijara is bargain. Tijara is also used for business. In the Arab world, when you refer to tijara, it refers to business, right? But of course, I'm looking at the context, it refers to bargain. Of course, when you go to the market, you bargain with the shopkeeper. So this is where this meaning comes from. So ulaika, these are they, allazina who ishtarau, they have taken in exchange, az-zalala, error, bil huda, in exchange for guidance or with guidance. Fama rabihat, fama rabihat, but it did not bring benefit. It did not bring gain. What did not bring gain? Tijaratuhum, their bargain. Wama kanu muhtadin, and they were not rightly guided. So, if I was to explain to you a bit more, just to simplify this verse of the Quran. So, what do they first do? These individuals, they've tried to do a bargain. They've tried to exchange error with guidance, right? So if you look at the translation here, these are they who have taken error in exchange for guidance. So they were being given guidance, but they took error instead of guidance. Secondly, this traffic did not bring them any gain, right? So this was not successful for them, nor are they rightly guided. Right? I'm just trying to break it down so you can understand the verse a bit better. So we'll come to this later again. So the next verse is Masaluhum kamasalil lazis tawqada nara فَلَمَّا أَضَاءَتْ مَا حَوْلَهُ ذَهَبَ اللَّهُ بِنُورِهِمْ وَتَرَكَهُمْ فِي ظُلُمَاتٍ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. Their case is like the case of a person who kindled a fire, and when it lighted up all around him, Allah took away their light and left them in thick darkness they see not. Masaluhum is this Masaluhum. Hum, by now you've understood it's there, right? But when you say Masaluhum, it's their case. In Urdu, we can say Unki misal, their example, their case. Ka means like, right? Ka masali. Masaluhum, their example, their case, ka masale is like the case, right? So this is the same. Masal is used here and it's used here as well. The only difference is Allah says masaluhum, their case is making a comparison again, that their case, ka is like. Their case is like ka masal, is like the case, allazi of who, right? If you go up again, allazina, plural, who, these are they who here again, but this is now individual, this is singular. Masaluhum, their case, kamasal is like the case, allazi, who, istawqada. Istawqada is he kindled, right? He kindled, he started a fire. Istawqada naran, he kindled a fire. Masaluhum, their case, kamasal is like the case, allazi of who, istawqada, he kindled naran, a fire. Falamma, fa, so, we've already covered this. Fa is so. Lamma, when. Falamma, so when. Ada'at, it lighted up. Ma, that. Hawlahu. So before we go on, you remember I said ma can have a few meanings. Ma here means that. But when you go above, ma means not. Of course, this is, when you read the Quranic verses, you will understand as you go on. But ma can have a few meanings. Here it says not, here it means that. Falamma, so when aza'at, it lighted up, meaning the fire lighted up, ma that hawlahu. Hawlahu, hawl is around. Hawlahu, around him. In Urdu, you've heard of the word mahol. Mahol, uska mahol kaisa hai? Mahol means your surroundings. So hawlahu is around him. Aza'at, it lighted up, ma that hawlahu is around him. Then what happened? Zahaballahu. Allah, Allah zahaba took away. Allah took away be him. Be with nur light him there. Be him with their light. Wa and taraka he left them. Wa tarakahum and he left them. Fi in zulumatin in darkness, la not yubsirun they see. So let's go back to the verse again and look at the word masal, which is case. Example. It gives a number of meanings. Number one, likeness or similitude. Number two, state or condition. Three, reason or argument. And four, proverb, etc. So masal, just basic meaning would be an example, a case. Masaluhum, their case, ka like masal, like the case, allazi of who istawqada he kindled, naran, a fire. Falamma, so, lamma when, aza'at, it lighted up. Now let's look at the word aza'at. Za'a, it lighted up, is derived from za'a, i.e., it or he became bright or lit up. So Azaa means it lit up or lighted up the surroundings, etc. It became bright or lit up, right? So you can see the meaning here. So falamma, so when Azaat, it lighted up, ma that hawlahu was around him. Then what happened? Zahaballahu, Allah took away. Be with nur, light, him there. Be nurihim, with their light. Wa and taraka, he left them. وَتَرَكَهُمْ, he left them, and he left them. Where did he leave them? Fi in zulumatin, in darkness. La yubsirun, they do not see. In the Quran, the word is always used in the plural and denotes different kinds of zuluma, darkness, physical, moral, or spiritual. There's different forms of darknesses. In the moral and spiritual sense, the plural form also signifies that sins and evil deeds do not stand alone, but grow and multiply, one stumbling, leading to another. This is an amazing explanation of darkness. Sometimes sins and weaknesses, we think we just have that one weakness, which is the catalyst, but I think catalyst would be the perfect explanation. That one sin then or one weakness leads to more and more weaknesses. So this explanation that in the moral and spiritual sense, the plural form also signifies that sins and evil deeds do not stand alone, but grow and multiply, one leading to another. Okay? So zulumat would be darkness, la yubsirun, they do not see. Now let's look at the verse again. The- I I believe this is the way I think most people become really good at a certain profession or at anything in life. It's by practice. Some people are naturally gifted at certain things, but most people have to practice to gain confidence and to become really good at anything in life. So that is why I repeat the same verse over and over again, so you get the gist of what or the flavor of what we are studying. So the more practice you do, the better you will become at translation as well. Masaluhum, masal case, masaluhum, their case. Their case is like what? Kamasal. Like, ka is like, kamasal, like the case of Allazi, of that individual, of who istawqada, he kindled, naran, a fire. Then what happened? Falamma, so when Azaat, that fire lighted up, ma hawlahu, that which was around it, which was around the fire. Allah zahaballah, Allah took away, bi nurihim, with their light, be with nurihim, their light. Watarakahum, Allah first took away their light. Watarakahum, he left them. Watarak, wataraka, and he left them. Where did he leave them? Fi in zulumat, in darkness, in the translation actually says thick darkness, but darkness on its own is fine as well. Right? So when it's thick darkness, you can see nothing. You know, when you um, if there's nothing and you don't, there's no light and you're traveling, there's nothing you can see unless you have something with you to help you see, maybe a torch or maybe something else. So the fact that Allah says fi zulumatin, in darkness, in thick darkness, la yubsirun, they cannot see. Okay. So now, when you look at here, the meaning of zulumat, it says physical, moral, or spiritual, right? So even if you take spiritual, for example, that they're in spiritual darkness, la yubsirun, they cannot see. They, their spiritual eyes cannot see the truth, right? So either way, you see how the verse of the Quran have various meanings attached to them. Let's quickly go through the first verse again in case right. Let's first highlight some difficult words I think I would want you to remember. Let's take muscle, masaluhum. Example, like istawqada, he kindled, naran, fire, falamma azaat, it lighted up, azaat, it lighted up, ma hawlahu zahaballahu binurihim wa tarakahum fi zulumatin. I think you must know the rest, inshallah. So just remember these words that I'm highlighting with you, in case you might want to remember them as we go on. Ulaika, these are they, plural of zalika, allazina who ishtarau, they have bought or they have taken in exchange, al-zalala, error, bil huda, with guidance, right? This is the split word translation, right? But when you look at the general translation, it will mean these are they who have taken error in exchange for guidance. They could have taken guidance, but they rather or they prefer to take error in or they preferred error to guidance. Fama, but not rabihat, it won't gain. What won't gain? Tijaratuhum, their business, their bargain. They fail in their bargain. Wa and ma not. Kanu, they were. Muhtadin, rightly guided. Right? Muhtadin is that individual, those individuals who are rightly guided. So if I was to ask you the word muhtadin and someone says they were guided, that will be incorrect. Okay. Um, if I was to say Yahdi, for example, that will mean he guides. Inshallah, I mean, I'm not going too much into the details of the grammar because I think it might be too much for now. But just remember, muhtadin here means rightly guided people, right? Um, right. I think we've gone through these two verses quite a few times. So now if you can prepare, just maybe read a few more times. Um, just look at the translation here quickly, then we can go to the test um, and practice more. Go to the next verse. So let's go to the test. So the first word I've taken for you is how lahu. How lahu. Now there's two answers mainly that I've received. One is around him, and the other being around them. So let me just make this a bit simpler for you. Let me take, so if around him, jazakallah. So let's compare these two words. Hawlahu, this who in the end refers to him. Hawlahu, around him. Nurihim, their light. So who indicates singular and him is plural. So if I was to say hawlahum, that would mean around them. Or nurihi, instead of he, if you just say nurihi, his light, right? So hopefully you've understood the difference. Him in the end or whom in the end would indicate there. Who indicates his. Hawlahu, around him. So, Jazakumullah. Zahaballahu. Zahaballahu. Okay, mashallah. All of you are correct. Zahaballahu, Allah took away. This is the past tense. Zahaba, he took away. Allahu, Allah took away. Mashallah, very good. Taraka. Mashallah, you're all correct. So the test here was, the Quran says, وَتَرَكَهُمْ, and he left them. وَتَرَكَهُمْ, and he left them. So I just took away the home to see if you know what taraka would mean. And mashallah, you're all absolutely correct. Barakallahu lakum. Next word is yubsirun. Very good, mashallah. So the test here, or the tricky question here would have been, the Quran says, La yubsirun. They do not see. Right? Actually, this is what the Quran says. La yubsirun. So I took away the la to test if you remember, and mashallah, you're all absolutely correct. The combination is fi zulumatin. Fi zulumatin. Mashallah, very good. So again, the tricky part was fi. Next word is falamma. Falamma. Very good. Very good, mashallah. Falamma. Falamma. Barakallahu lakum. Excellent. Fama rabihat tijaratuhum. Sorry. Fama rabihat tijaratuhum. So, mashallah, I think almost all of you have understood the concept um, of the words which we have used just now. Fama, so not. Rabihat, brought gain, brought benefit. Tijarat, bargain, whom there. Right. So if I take you to the Fama rabihat tijaratuhum, and their traffic or their bargain has brought them no gain. Right? Because I included fa, so you will also include but the bargain has brought them no gain. This is the translation actually. If you look here, fama, but no, rabihat, it brought gain, tijaratuhum, their bargain. So let me take you back to the actual verse again. Wama kanu muhtadin, nor are they rightly guided. Right. This is the translation. Nor are they rightly guided. Wa and ma not. Kanu they were. Muhtadin rightly guided. Jazakumullah. So now what is the singular of this? Ulaika. What is the singular? Ulaika. These, that, these are they, these are they. These are those people. That's fine. My question was actually that this is the plural, ulaika. What is the singular? You just have to type in, you don't have to type in Arabic, you can just write in English that instead of ulaika, it is they. If I wanted to say that it is he, what will be the right Arabic for it? Right. Take it. So some of you have got the right answer, which is zalika. Right. So jazakallah for those who have all answered. If I take you back to the Quran again, ulaika, these are they, and zalika is the singular. And in fact, the next verse says, this is the next verse. If I was taking up Alif Lam Mim, Zalika. This is the perfect book. Zalika is the singular of Ulaika, right? And so now I'm going to test you with a few more words from the previous lessons that we have been through, just to test whether you guys are remembering the previous lessons or not. So this is from yesterday's lesson. طغيانهم طغيانهم. Their transgressions, their transgression, their transgression. MashaAllah. Well done, everyone. طغيانهم, their transgression. Now take your time to answer the next one. It's going to be a combination of words. Allahu yastahzi'u bihim. Allahu yastahzi'u bihim. Allahu yastahzi'u bihim. Let's take the answers. Allah will punish them for the mockery. Allah will punish their mockery. Allah will punish them for the mockery. Allah will punish them for the mockery. Allah will punish them for the mockery. MashaAllah. That's excellent. Now this will be the last part for today. And this is from actually a few weeks earlier. So I want to see if you remember this. قالوا أنؤمن كما آمن السفهاء. Take your time and try to split this part of the verse in different parts, in different segments, to understand the translation. قالوا أنؤمن كما آمن السفهاء. So try to translate the split word at the same time. MashaAllah. That's amazing. I'm really impressed. So if I take you to the actual wording again, قالوا أنؤمن كما آمن السفهاء. They said, shall we believe as the foolish have believed? MashaAllah. All of you were absolutely correct. Barakallahu lakum. So someone has posed a question of how can we so he's saying the word surely. Let me take to the right. I think this should be on your screen now. He's saying the different forms of saying surely. Right? So if I just give you a few examples from the Quran, innama. Innama, I remember I taught you this. Innama, surely. Right? Innama is actually just to emphasize on the if Allah says certainly, inna, certainly this is going to happen, inna. When he says innama, there's even more certainty for that event happening. So innama is surely. If you take away inna on its own, is also surely. So if you remember these three things, inna, anna, and innama, these three things, whenever they come in the Quran, they will always mean surely. Inna, anna, if I just put it on the so inna, anna, and innama. Okay. In Arabic, um, it will be inna, right? For this will be anna with the, of course, with the fatha on top. I'm not sure how to type the fatha and innama. Okay. So when they come, they will automatically mean surely. Allah Ta'ala is trying to emphasize on a certain point. I think I wasn't able to show you. Did you see the explanation I just gave on the screen? Well, just type it anyway. So inna, anna, and innama. Innama. So this will be, for those unable to read Arabic, inna, anna, and innama. Right? So when they come in the Quran, you will understand that it means surely. So let's see if you can give a few examples from what we've learned. So innama is hai, inna. I remember we studied this. Inna would mean surely. Inna surely. Inna would mean surely we. Um, right. Another example. Allah, beware. Inna, innahum. Surely, inna, surely, hum they. Allah, innahum, surely they. Right. That's another example right there. Then innama, certainly, surely. Inna lazina kafaru. Inna, surely. Right. So there's many examples that we've already covered in the previous classes, which all indicate how we can use these words in inna, anna, and innama for surely. So if there's any other question I can take, then we can wrap up for today's class, inshallah. Okay. So Jazakumullah Ahsan Jaza. Just one tip before you take a leave. You have today's Thursday. You have a few days before the next class on Wednesday. Um, make sure that when you read the Quran, just read a few verses. You know, when you do your normal reading of the Quran, take 2, 3 verses, especially from Surah Fatiha or Surah Al-Baqarah, what we've already done. And when reading the translation, try to translate yourself and try to do the split word translation at the same time. Because so just test yourself how much you know, how much you're missing out. Make notes of where you struggle, so you can improve on those on those weaknesses that you might have. So keep challenging yourself. Take a notebook, pen. Keep testing yourself. That today I read these 3 verses, and I did this. I did well. Today I struggled on this verse. So keep testing yourself. The more you test yourself, the more you practice you have, inshallah, within weeks you will see a massive improvement. So don't just rely on these 2 weekly classes. Keep challenging yourself on a daily basis, inshallah, just a few minutes a day, and you will see how Allah Ta'ala will bless your knowledge in this sense as well, inshallah. So until next Wednesday, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.